Hi, today I'll be sharing with you my experience with Frankfinn Institute of Air Hostess Training, and I'll tell you all about it. If it's worth it, how was my experience, what did I learn, what do they teach, how do they teach, all about it. So if you are someone who is wondering whether to join this, if you need to join an institute, if you want to be a crew, and all of that questions are all around, this is the video for you. Now, when can you join Frankfinn? Once you have finished with your school, that is 10 plus 2 or 12th grade, you can join Frankfinn. You can also join if you are in your 12th grade, so you can join then. And if you are a graduate, they have two types of courses. So one is for undergraduates and the other one is for somebody who has finished their graduation, and there's a difference in both. If you are an undergraduate, the time period for the training is 11 months, and if you are a graduate, then it is 6 months. So you can join after your schooling or after your college. I had joined in my second year of college when I was almost done with my second year. So I was planning that I would take this 1 year of training along with my third year in college. So when I'll be done with college, I would also be done with my training, and then I could go give interviews, and I would not be wasting any time after my graduation. But yeah, I have friends who are continuing with the training right now after they have finished their graduation, and in my batch there were also people who directly joined after their 12th. So you can do whatever is convenient for you. And now one of the biggest questions, is it necessary to be already trained before you go for your interview? Well, no. You can join as a crew in any of the company having no knowledge. Of course, not no knowledge, you need to know something to clear the interview, but yes, you can. There are a lot of people who clear the interviews without any extra help, or they just learn from YouTube, or they just collect information from here and there from people, and that's absolutely all right. But if you're somebody who thinks that they need that extra bit of help, they need that extra bit of training, then you can join any institute if you want to. If Frankfinn is there in your city, well and good, because it's actually one of the good institutes that are there. There are also various different institutes which teach you the exact same thing, so you could go there too. And I know there has been a lot of negative speculation. When I was joining, even I had heard, is it a scam? They just take money and they don't give you jobs. Well, nobody can give you a job. They assist you and they will help you to get the job, but they cannot give you the job. You have to earn it, right? So they say when they take admission, they very clearly say that they will give you 100% assistance. Okay, they never say that they will give you the job. They'll say in getting the job, they'll give you 100% assistance. That is, whenever there's a company which is hiring, they will let you sit for the interview. They will help you to prepare for that particular interview. They'll take special classes. They'll tell you what to do, and this is other than the training. During the training, that's what they tell you, that they talk about the industry and they talk about a lot of things. And other than that, when there's a company coming, they give you that special extra classes so that you can clear the interview. And let's say you don't clear your first interview, or the company that has come to hire you, so what happens next is they will call you again when there is a second hiring of maybe the same company or some other company. So they keep pushing you until you get a job, right? So of course they do assist, and I got my job through them. It was a campus drive. That did not help that I didn't have to face a lot of people. I had to face the exact same amount of people that I faced in my walk-in. As there is in the walk-in. So there were 1,000 people, but I was much more comfortable and much more confident than a lot of people who were there. And I did crack the job interview. I did crack the interview in the first go. So I have had this huge growth in self-confidence. I was always a very confident person. If you have known me through social media or even in real life, you'll know I am super confident in everything. and I'm also very extrovert, so it's very easy for me to talk and not get nervous usually. But about this industry, I had no idea. When I joined, I had zero, a huge zero in knowledge, and it was very random that I joined or that I'm working in this field. And initially the classes I felt was boring, okay, very honestly boring, because we were having communication classes. That is the first thing that we had. And given the fact that I am good with communication, obviously not the best, but I have some standard. I can maintain a good, conversation, and it's easy for me. So I found those classes pretty boring, and I was wondering if I'm at the right place, because I paid a lot. So I was like, okay, are we just gonna talk or learn how to talk? Because I already know how to do that. I've been doing that ever since I was born. Why am I here? But it was not just that. There are different modules. There is effective communication. They teach you about grooming, okay? So there is a whole grooming thing which I was very poor at, and maybe I have I am still borderline. I'm bad at it. Not too bad, but yeah, not too best. I know, not too good, sorry, not best, not too good. I know people who are really good at, really good at it. Like, they know how to just dress well, do their makeup well, do their hair well, and I'm very messy in that part. But yeah, now I can put myself in a place. I am not as bad as I was before I joined. So they teach you of communication, they teach you grooming, they have a module on hospitality, they also have a module on aviation, they teach you swimming, and I cannot recall, but there are, I think, one or two more, customer service, and a little bit on interview skills, all of that. So there are different modules that is taught, and it is helpful. They teach you a Medus, which is airport ticketing system. So they teach you quite a lot of things. With me right now, I have this book, the aviation book, and yeah, they taught a lot in this. Like, I had no idea. I didn't know the actual terminology for a lot of terms were completely unknown. The terminology of aviation, I didn't even know what a body of an aircraft was called before I studied this book. But yes, so I don't have all my books with me right now, but we had books like these with us for every module, and we would have activities, and we would have a lot of conversation. So they do help you in building confidence in communication, in learning the basics of the industry that you want to join. And let's say you want to join hospitality, they also have a course on that. So in my batch, there was only one person who was in hospitality, and every one of us, we were studying for aviation. And there's an option. If you are someone who wants to join hospitality but does not want to do a whole like hotel management course of 3 years, want to get it done quick and short, I think it's a good option. If you want to work in hotels, they have an option over there for that too. And if someone does not crack their crew interview, okay, for the first time, you can always work in hotel to gain experience. It's not the same thing at all, and it is much more tiring, in my opinion, completely. But yes, there's an option for that. So I know this friend of mine, he was very crew perfect. Right now he is training as a crew, but he joined hospitality first because that company came to hire first. So he was not trying to waste his time, and he got into it, and now he's doing what he wanted to do initially, be a crew. So yeah, you will have ton of people with various different opinions about the same thing, but you have to listen to what you want to listen to. And it's not like an institute cannot be good or bad, the students can be. So if you hear that people over there are ekdam ambitionless they are ambitionless, and they lack that motivation, and nothing good comes out of this place. Well, that might be true, but that might be false as well, because in my class I remember we were like 30ish people, and I remember some of us being super motivated. They would turn up to class properly groomed with their books, trying to participate in the class and do something about their future. They were serious. And there were people who would miss half the classes, who would bunk the classes, who would come to the class with, forget about books, they would come to the class without a single pen or a pencil, and they would just not talk. They would be in the grooming room or the washroom half the time. They would use your phone. To be honest, sometimes even I used my phone, but I paid attention when I needed to. So yes, there were people of both sides, and some of them, they cracked good interviews for good companies and some did not. So it is really up to you how much you pay attention and how much you are focused. And let's talk about the trainers. The trainers are great, okay, because most of them in our center, it was, they had already worked in that field. So this one ma'am who was my absolute favorite, she was our aviation teacher. She also took our grooming, and she was an ex-crew. So often we would hear so many stories from her. She would tell us, her actual experiences. And what's better to learn from a person who has already been in that field where you want to join? You get all that first-hand information. And she had like warned us about a lot of things which I get to see now for real. So we know that you are learning from the right person when you are learning from someone who has already worked in that field. So personally, even though initially I felt that I might be wasting my time, especially when I looked around me and there were people who did not have that right motivation, or they were not just there, they were just there for god knows what, because they would not participate in class. You can be scared. Even initially I was. Okay, one clear thing, I might have been good in talking, but I would go there pretty underconfident, because I had no knowledge about this. And there were people who 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 have this dream job, right? For aviation is their dream job. It's not my dream job. It's never been my dream job. It was very random. But there are people who are really passionate about it, and I respect that. So they have a lot of information already, and they were very sure of what they are doing, what they are saying. And here I would come from college half drained, and I didn't even know why I was there. Some days I would literally wonder, why am I here? What am I doing? What are they teaching? But that helped. Everything that they were doing, just listening, just looking at the trainer, just listening to him or her, it did help. And some of the classes were really interesting. So it did help me boost my confidence from what I was. I was confident as a person, but now I'm confident in my role. So there is a lot of growth, and there are people who absolutely wasted their 11 months over there, and then there are people who took advantage of it. So when or if you want to join, you have to identify if you have that need. You might be really good at makeup, okay, but your communication is absolute BS, okay, it's absolutely bad, and you need that. You don't have that space to improve yourself. You need that. So you can join if you have zero knowledge about this, if you want that extra help, if you want to know, if you want to learn about it before you go for that interview. If you're taking a gap year, let's say, okay, you have not joined college, and you're just done with school, and you want to take that gap year, you want to focus on yourself, and this is what you are planning to join or wanting to do, you can go ahead and find out a little bit on the industry. Find out a little bit, of course, training. Even when you get hired and in a company there is a training going on, that and flying is completely different. Like, books and real life is very different. But yes, you have to study a lot during your company trainings. So it'll be handy, you know. Now when I was doing my training for Indigo, I already knew a lot of stuff because that's what we were taught. So we had the basic idea. So to understand what it is being taught was easier when we were being taught about equipments and some procedures. It felt like, oh, we studied that, I know about this. And there were people in my batch in the training who had been from Frankfinn as well, so maybe in a different, from a different city, or surely from a different center. So we would talk about it because our books are the same, right? So we would talk about, oh, remember we studied this, did you study this, did your trainer teach you this, did she tell you that? So it is easier, of course, but then again, it's completely up to you. I had a positive experience. Not everybody has a positive experience, but it is all about your perspective. So go ahead, find out, and you can go. I think you can go and visit. If there's a Frankfinn near you in your city, you can go and visit it. You can do that. They'll let you see the classrooms, they'll let you see the facility. They do that, at least in my center they allowed that. And yes, you will meet, when you go to visit, if you go to visit the place, you will meet students who will tell you outside the building, don't come here, it's such a wastage of money. I personally never said that, okay, because what you say about something or someone also reflects who or what kind of person you are. So I never said that, and I completely give a lot of credit to the institute for helping me become more confident in myself and in my role. But some people might not be happy with it. So yes, give what you think is needed. Whether you want to join or do not want to join, that is completely up to you. And if you are confident that you don't need it, you have the basic idea of how to groom, and you know that you can manage by watching videos online, or finding out from other people, go ahead, do that. Nobody can stop you if you really want something. And I hope that I was able to give you some insight about the institute and it was helpful. And if you have any questions about Frankfinn or about aviation in general, I would be more than happy to help. You can drop them down in the comment section and I'll reply you. And if you're somebody who is planning to go for the interview, all the very best to you. If someone who has cracked it and you're here, all the very best to you too. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.